Hello and welcome to this wonderful journey along the ancient Silk Road with its tales of merchants, spices and silks. You'll find as you listen to this story, you'll begin to feel more and more relaxed until you fall into a deep and peaceful sleep. And as you settle down for the night now, just take a moment to release any tension or stress that you may be holding in your body. Just feeling your muscles relaxed, becoming more comfortable. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. And as you do so, imagine that any worries or concerns that you may have are leaving you with every exhaled breath, breathing slowly and deeply. Allow your mind to drift with its thoughts and clear. Let go of any of the events of the day. Let go of the thoughts that may be running through your head. And instead, focus on the present moment as you begin to listen now to the story of the Silk Road and the peoples who travelled along it. The Silk Road was a major conduit for trade. Merchants brought with them a wide variety of goods from all over the ancient world. The Silk Road wasn't a single road, but rather a network of different routes that ran really between China and Rome. The Romans imported fine silks of every hue and sent gold and silver in payment to China. Silk was one of the most valuable, one of the most sought after goods, as it was produced exclusively in China. It was highly prized for its beauty and for its luxury. In 552 AD, the Byzantine Emperor Justinian sent 2 monks on a mission to China, and they came back to Byzantium with silkworm eggs hidden in their bamboo walking sticks. This is one of the earliest known examples of industrial espionage. And other goods that were traded along the Silk Road included spices such as cinnamon, ginger, and pepper. And at that time, cinnamon was considered a useful medicinal herb and was used mainly in medicinal processing as well as in some religious rituals. For example, the ancient Egyptians used cinnamon as part of their embalming rituals, whilst medieval Europe used it for religious rites, for flavouring, and to preserve their meat in the winter. Merchants would travel to the tropical east, the south of China, as well as southern India and Sri Lanka, to procure these wonderful spices, bringing them back and distributing them all across Europe. Merchants would procure precious stones, such as rubies and emeralds, and in turn they would buy gold and silver, other metalwork and glassware. And traders on the ancient Silk Road believed the ruby to have occult powers and carried the fiery red stones for protection. Rubies were mined in Myanmar as early as 600 AD. The stones were considered to be precious, and they had an intense dark and red hue. Being a traveller on the Silk Road was a challenging and sometimes dangerous endeavour. The route was long, and the merchants and traders had to navigate through deserts and mountains, facing sandstorms that blew up from nowhere. There were bandits, and the terrain was harsh. But despite these challenges, the rewards of being a traveller on the Silk Road were great. The merchants and travellers had the opportunity to see new and exotic places and to experience different cultures and ways of life. They also had the opportunity to make a good living by trading in valuable goods such as silk and spices and precious stones. Travellers on the Silk Road were a diverse group of people, including merchants and traders, scholars and monks. They came from all over the world, including China, India, Persia, and Rome. They would often travel in caravans, which provided safety in numbers and also allowed them to transport a larger quantity of goods. But the journey on the Silk Road was also a journey of discovery. Merchants and traders would encounter new cultures, exotic foods, and beautiful landscapes that they had never dreamed of seeing before. They would also have the opportunity to learn about different religions and philosophies, and to share their own customs and traditions with the people that they met along the way. Because you see, the Silk Road was not just a trade route, it was also a major conduit for the exchange of ideas, of knowledge. And along this route, merchants and traders came into contact with people from many different cultures, and they shared their knowledge, they shared their expertise with one another. One of the most significant areas of knowledge that was shared along the Silk Road in those ancient times was in the field of science and technology. For example, the Chinese had developed the compass and gunpowder, which were later adopted and improved upon by many other cultures along the route. Similarly, the Persians and the Indians had developed advanced mathematical and astronomical knowledge, which was shared with the Chinese and the Europeans. Another important area of knowledge that was shared along the Silk Road was in the field of medicine. The Chinese had developed advanced medical knowledge, including the use of acupuncture and herbal medications. And this medical knowledge was later adopted and improved upon by other cultures along the route. The Persians and Indians had also developed advanced medical knowledge, which was also shared with the Chinese and the Europeans. So you can see that this was a real melting pot of ideas and knowledge and understanding amongst peoples from ancient civilizations. The Silk Road also played an important role in the spread of Buddhism, as well as other religions such as Christianity and Islam. And this exchange of religious ideas and practices helped to change and shape the spiritual and philosophical beliefs of people all along the route. And for those who made the journey, the Silk Road was not just a physical journey, but also a journey of the mind and spirit. The Silk Road was a veritable melting pot of cultures, where merchants and traders could learn from one another and share their knowledge and their experiences. And as you sleep now, let yourself imagine the different experiences of being a traveller on the Silk Road. From the challenging landscapes, deserts and mountains, the threat of bandits, the beauty of the oases, the cultural exchanges that propelled civilizations forward through trade, experience and sharing of knowledge. Let yourself imagine the sense of adventure, the longing for home and the feeling of accomplishment that those travellers must have felt. So just imagine yourself now travelling on that Silk Road. The number of different people from different cultures, the backgrounds, the experiences, the spices, the Chinese silk, Persian carpets, the Roman glass. Imagine how those different civilizations have influenced one another, creating a diverse and rich tapestry of human experience. And it is this that is our legacy today. So let these thoughts and these images of your time in the ancient Silk Road lull you into a peaceful and restful night's sleep. And for right now, we must leave the travellers on the Silk Road as we drift deeper and deeper into that peaceful, restful sleep.